What up, guys? So this is the late night grind of Pokemon. Well, I guess for me, god damn it, I'm stuffy. Um, I just got home at like 1:30 in the morning. We had a blowout karaoke night at the bar. So I'm extremely grateful to do what I do and get to have fun while I'm at work. Well, some nights. But anyways, there's some stuff that I'm getting ready to ship out, and I thought, you know what, maybe I should show some video footage of just some stuff that I'm selling that we're going to talk about. Anyways, so I wish they were PSA 10. If they were PSA 10, I would have kept them. I even contemplated keeping these in PSA 9 and taking them off eBay. But anyways, we're going to look at some dope cards and kind of talk about those sets. And then I'm going to hit the post office tomorrow. I'm going to get all these packaged tonight because it's just easier to get this package tonight. And then I can deal with it in the morning and just drop them off, go to the gym, make the rest of this video. But yeah, this is like just part of the grind. eBay is nonstop, and I take eBay really seriously. And when I have orders, I want that stuff shipped. I want it packaged and shipped ASAP. Anyways, let's take a look at these. All right, guys. So we're going to talk about some stuff that I got off work, and then I saw all this stuff sold, and I was like, dude, dope. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. First things first, this Rayquaza promo from the Sea and Sky boxes that Costco dropped with Crown Zenith. This card is going off right now. I've had so many chances to grab tons of these, and I wanted to, but I just didn't pull the trigger. I saw this coming. This card sold for $5. Another one sold for $5 last night. This is an incredible Rayquaza artwork, honestly, for a promo. And the Black Star promos tend to do well over time. Now, I don't know if they're buying these to grade. And as a Rayquaza fan, I am ashamed. But, you know, all of the ones that I'm selling or sold had the white dot corners, so I didn't bother grading them myself. I wanted to grade these, but they just weren't gradable. And who knows, maybe this card in PSA 9 would even have been worth grading. But honestly, just as a Rayquaza fan, it sucks getting rid of this. This is such a nice artwork, and like $5, that doesn't do anything for me. But it's another sale. It's another potential feedback I'll get on eBay, so it's worth selling. Make somebody else happy to get that. Then we look at the slabs. I've graded a lot of cards this past couple months, and I've learned a lot. I've learned that I need to get better at grading for sure. But yeah, this is a really nice card. This Minun, and like, dude, these illustration rares, like some of these cheaper cards, just they look so beautiful in a nice slab. And even the 9s I want to keep. You know, I talked about going for vintage cards, but there's a lot of modern cards that I appreciate, and the arts are beautiful, and I want to hold on to them. But at the end of the day, I'm going to be able to get these again. This is not rare. This is super, super common. I'm going to be able to find it again. But yeah, this Minun from Paradox Rift, this is one of the peak illustration rares in Minun. You got the Plusle as well. I'm pretty sure I graded both of them. I think I sold the Plusle already. But I wanted to get both of these in 10s so bad. I like this card so much. But yeah, that sold. This Deoxys VMAX is one of my favorite cards, like all-time favorite card. Honestly, this card might be my all-time favorite card in Crown Zenith. The colors, the Orbeetle, the top. I mean, this is peak modern art. There are so many of these, though. Crown Zenith just got printed to oblivion. So, again, it's not rare at all. But yeah, absolutely breathtaking art. This is absolutely sick. This Dedenne, I got 22 of these. I bought them all at $2 a piece. I sold one for $50 and a 9, and I have one 9 in my collection that I'm keeping just because, you know what, I'm not going to get a 10 on any of them probably. But now I'm second guessing the other raw copies that I have on eBay. I might go ahead and just full send all of those to PSA because, you know, to go from $2 to 60, this copy sold for $60, and that price is only going to go up. Like, which means the next DNA GX could be in a 9, could be worth 70, 80 bucks. And all the copies that I have raw are definitely 9s. There's not a single one that I think is like, oh, this is a PSA 8. Nah. The backs of all of these are freaking dumb clean, guys. Dumb clean. Like, I graded this off-center front to thinking that it would get a 10. So it's not that bad. I still can't believe it got a 9. But anyways, 60 bucks, bro. I bought this for $2. It's crazy. People are buying these cards. But this is a nice alt art. I wanted to get a 10 to go with my Sun and Moon alt arts, my GXs, my tag teams. So the Den NA is really cool. Y'all remember when I had the stack of Den NAs from the store? I knew that that was going to be a play. I just knew it because this was an alt art. And I just thought, dude, an alt art for $2? Yeah, I'll take that. But it's all about flipping these so that I can get nicer vintage cards. This one I graded myself, talked about in the last video, but I like these a lot more. I like the older cards a lot more. This Palkia GX I picked up from the shop. I think it was like, I don't know, 20 bucks. This was an easy pickup. I love these like rainbow style cards. It's a secret rare. I felt like this should have gotten a 10. The back is flawless. It kind of sucks like when I just get shafted by PSA and I feel like they did me dirty. This person's probably going to crack this and resub it. That sold for 75. And then we got this Drowsy, which sold for 40, 50. This got an 8. I feel like they kind of did me dirty on that. Like, it's off center, but it's not that bad. It has one white dot right there. They gave it an 8. That just to me feels like pop control. Like, dude, seriously, you couldn't have given me a 9 on this. I do have a 9 of this card. I love it because it's a Komiya art. The Drowsy was so cheap. And I got both of my copies when Scarlet Violet Base came out. I think I had 3 copies total, actually, at one point. I always picked up cards because I just thought they were cool. I mean, dead ass, like, it wasn't like oh yeah, this Drowsy is going to go to the moon. Nah, just picked it up because I thought it was dope. Thought the art was dope. And now it's going for buku bucks. The Heart Gold Soul Silver theme deck. Y'all know I collected theme decks. I specialized in theme decks, and I collected just theme decks for quite some time. Like, I would collect banger cards, but I always have been buying theme decks. Lately, the theme deck market's been kind of weird. Theme decks have been going for a lot, but it's been harder to move them. They've been moving really slow, so I've been collecting less duplicates. Obviously, I have a lot of theme decks. I mean, bruh. I'm a monster with the theme decks, okay? I have a lot of theme decks. I got my sealed case up there with my Gundams. I have duplicates. I have a lot of theme decks. So, theme decks are definitely my thing. We'll go open the closet. I'll just show you guys where I got this from. When we moved, this was just how I stored them. And honestly, they stored really nicely. But yeah, here's all my Diamond and Pearl theme decks. A lot of awesome theme decks in here. We're not going to get all of them out. Some of my favorites, though, include the Gyarados theme deck, the Stormfront theme deck. What's this one right here? We got, hold up. What's a dope one? Some of these are mid. But the Heart Gold, Soul Silver theme deck. This one right here. This one's sick. With the Tyranitar art. Duplicate that I had. This is my last duplicate. I bought like 4 of these for like 50 bucks a pop. And I've sold, this is my last, well, no, my last one's in there. But this is the third one that I had to sell. So I picked them up 50 bucks a pop. And then I sold this one for 110. Last one I think I sold for 100. This one's in better condition than the last one I sold. But you got the Meganium artwork on there. It looks really good. I mean, this is the end of an era, right? Like, they don't make theme decks cool anymore. They stopped doing the plastic seal on them. I have a couple of those theme decks in a little Tupperware container. But I don't know how far I'm going to go with theme decks. I think I should probably have just stopped in the like Diamond, Pearl, Heart Gold, Soul Silver type era. But yeah, it's just really cool with the foiling and everything. So sold all this stuff, about like, I don't know, $300-400 worth of just some slabs, this raw Rayquaza. So it's light stuff, but at the end of the day, after fees, it'll be like, I don't know, 340, 350, and it will pitch in and be a chip off of my cost for a vintage Grail card, you know, right? If I'm spending $1,000, $2,000 on a vintage Grail card, and I sell all this modern stuff that I picked up for dirt cheap, I don't know, light stuff. You know, I got this stuff for cheap, and we're gonna roll it into a nicer vintage card. Although it kind of doesn't matter what plays you're making in Pokemon, like, or what you're selling, because everything is just moving up. Everything, you know, the cheapest stuff is moving up. The illustrations and nines are moving up. Theme decks are doubled or moving up. So it's not like you can feel like you're a genius in anything you're doing in Pokemon, even if you're a fucking idiot like I am. You can feel like you're a genius in buying this stuff. But I have some crazy cards coming in. They are taking an absolute fucking lifetime to get here. But I'm really excited for you to see those cards. And yeah, I just want to show you guys some of the stuff I was selling. I don't do that anymore. I used to make videos showing stuff that I was shipping out, just to give people an idea of what sells, what doesn't. I have a lot of followers on my eBay. I have like, God, dude, I don't even know how many followers I have on my eBay, but it's a lot. It's hundreds. And I'm coming up on 1,500 sales, so I really haven't sold all that much on eBay, but I've been going at it for years when a lot of my friends were like, bro, why are you selling on eBay? You're just taking a hit on fees. And like, I've had no issue selling on eBay. eBay has been great to me. Man, guys, I just keep selling cards. Like I was up till like 4 in the morning just getting packages ready. It's like low key kind of crazy. I did have someone cancel on a PSA 10, which is kind of weird. It was $45 for a Tinglu, a Paldea Evolved Tinglu PSA 10 for 45 bucks. I mean, really? $45 PSA 10? Like, why would someone cancel on that? Anyways, this, I grabbed 2 other cards that I'm selling, but they're already packaged, so I can't show them. This just sold this morning, and as much as I love this card, I really did not want to list this. You know, part of grading is knowing that if you hit the 10, you should sell and, you know, take that profit. And this was just a promo from the poster collection for 151. Now, I gotta admit, I have a lot of these promo cards. And I still have my 151 binder and my Evolving Skies binder. They were the only binders that I did not get rid of. But it's a really nice card. I mean, it has this really nice Cosmo Hollow that shines beautifully in the sun. It's a great artwork. This, like, the Squirtle, this, and the Bulbasaur would have been nice to have all together in 10s. But that's the thing. It's so common. I can easily buy. There's so many 10s right now listed on the market. So, you know what? I'm going to roll this card that basically was free in the poster collection on top of other hits that I had. So I'm going to roll this like $25 profit into a vintage card. And I'm not going to regret it, because all these little cards, they add up and they help me chip off my cost of my bigger cards. Not by much, but every little bit counts. I need to go get some bubble mailers because we ran out. What's going on, guys? So we got this mail right here. Today is a very special day, and I'm going to tell you why. We've got my good old headset. You guys might be able to see me in the reflection. I'm wearing this ridiculous headset instead of getting a GoPro, because that's what you do when you make content on a budget and you don't want to deal with spending more money that you don't need to spend. So you work with what you got. And so we're working with what we got. Hopefully we make some damn good content. Alright, let's kick some ass, guys. It's a beautiful day. So we are going to put the windows down and cruise. So what I'm doing basically is we're getting ready. We are my front lip is gonna scrape like a motherfucker. Oh, there it is. Wouldn't be right if it didn't scrape. The car wouldn't be slammed if it didn't scrape. But this is my attempt to mix in a little bit of fun car content with my regular Pokemon content. So we are headed off right now to the post office. Guys, I'm so excited. I cannot tell you how excited I am. I have some absolutely insane cards coming. Adjust it a little bit. So I think I have it the perfect setup. I have it angled a little bit further out. It's a perfect POV. First stop, post office. Next stop, gym. Let's get some great exhaust sounds. Let's make this a killer video, okay? Really just trying to make as quality of a video as I can. And I want to bridge the gap of car content and Pokemon content. I think that that's not an easy thing to do, but I haven't made any car videos in a long time. It's something that I'm passionate about and I want to get back into. And I also want to use this same setup that I'm using right now for going to the shop and searching for some really dope cards. But yeah, I'm really excited. We have a ton of crazy cards on the way. So that's going to be absolutely mental when those cards get in. And pull in here. It looks like the post office is like low-key kind of slammed today. I wonder what the deal is with that. Grab the goods. Oh, put it under my chin. That's how ballers do it. We carry everything underneath our chin. Wait, person. Oh, man. This is what I look at. Yes, I like this. I think the POV is going to be really cool. Hopefully you guys like it. We got a line here in the post office for like the first time ever. Sorry, I feel and look ridiculous. Don't mind me. I have no choice. Also want to record everything going out so that I have proof that I sent everything out. And there's a lot of scammers on eBay, and unfortunately it is the reality of things. This is the most people I've seen in here.
Yeah. Having a little rush today.
Well, I super appreciate you.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, some of those labels have like creases, so they might not scan as easily.
We'll get it one way or another.
Thank you so much. Have a fantastic day. Such a beauty. Oh, man. You know, I don't need 5 cars. That's for sure. Somebody commented on my last on my ranting car video where I didn't drive them. I didn't have any POV content. It was just me ranting about my cars. And somebody's like, why would one need 5 cars, right? You don't. It's like living way above your means. But my cars, for anybody that wonders why Orion has these cars, my cars are milestones in my life. They're times of achievement, and people saying that I couldn't, and me saying that I can, and that's really all it is. If I sell the cars, for me, it's not just selling something. I think everybody looks at everything like it's material. You're just selling it. Oh, we're definitely getting in front of this car. All ready to rip. Isn't this incredible? Is this view not incredible? I mean, God, where am I? I'm in the middle of nowhere out here. Too much fun. The guy in the Mercedes behind me keeping up. Here he comes. Oh, he's got a C63. Let's go. I want that C63. That's the one that I want. And I don't know if it caught him on camera smiling and giving me the thumbs up, but that was so great. Like, if there's any message from God or the universe that what I'm doing is the right thing, like, I'm trying to make fun content. Like, one of my subscribers keeps telling me to stop, well, not one, like 3, keep telling me to stop, like, doing flex style videos. It's not flex, it's just trying to have fun and make content. And I hate saying that, make content, but it's true. It's, in this day and age, if you're not trying to monetize aspects of your life, especially where you can, like, you know, most people don't have these cars, so I'm trying to bring some value into the community. Let it rip. Now, I don't normally cut it in and out of traffic like that, but I'm trying to get there fast. Oh, who am I kidding? Of course I cut in and out of traffic. Who doesn't? This is why we buy these cars. We buy these cars so that we can have a good time. And you know what, guys? Let me tell you something. It's not good to live well beyond your means. It's not good. It's not a healthy thing. To be stressed out to try and afford these things versus living below your means and not being stressed out, having a good quality of life. But let me tell you, the wealthiest people in this country, they are leveraged. They are leveraged. They use their debt to their advantage. And my parents lived a very frugal lifestyle. I'm doing the opposite of my parents. And I have no regrets. One day I will turn into dust again. And I want to know that I had a damn good time when I was alive. Anyways, not to get too philosophical, but it's true. It's really true. And honestly, guys, I could not have picked a better day. Today is absolutely gorgeous out. It's stunning weather. I feel so grateful to be able to do this. I feel grateful that Diana, my wife, lets me do this. Like, brother, I am one of the luckiest guys in the world, and I know it. I know it. I know it. You might think there's no humility, but I know that I am absolutely blessed. But I'm not gonna lie and be like, yeah, you can win in life. You can have these things if you just gotta find the cheat codes. Like, there are no cheat codes. Not for me. There's just hard work. There's hard work and time in the game. And I really don't spend a lot of my time off diddling my thumbs. Alright, we are here. Nice little workout. Self-care, right? Mind, body. Like I said, been like 2 months since I went to the gym. Not proud of that, but it's not about how much time it took away. It's about hopping back in, getting back into it. Let's do it. The startup should sound pretty good. So if we hit a bunch of traffic, I'm not gonna record. I'll just cut it off. But I was seeing if we could get some content. Some more exhaust sounds. This POV is definitely gonna be way better. I already know it's gonna be way nicer. I should have reviewed it at the gym just to see how it would look. But anyways, all right, we clip this out. That was okay. That was not bad. No, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be really good. See how these Megan racing coilovers, yeah, they handle pretty good. I'd be lying if I wasn't having fun. I'd be lying. I would be lying. But damn, it's windy. And I think this car loses traction so easily. Alright, we're not going to book it. Yeah, if you ever want raw power and fun, get a C63. Get a naturally aspirated C63. Because this is not the turbo C63. This is the naturally aspirated C63. And I imagine the twin turbo is a beast. But I also imagine... Well, actually, I imagine the turbo does not lose traction as easily. That one's for the boys. And I think that's enough fun for today. You know what? I've decided maybe there is a little bit of flex. Maybe I am damn proud. Little view of the house. Okay, that's enough. That'll be enough for the flexing. In fact, just for fun's sake, we're just going to romp a little bit in the driveway. I never just romp on it when it's in park, but just listen to this, guys. Sounds good. All right. What's going on, guys? Good to be back in the game room. I want to touch base on what we were talking about yesterday with vintage cards, okay? It's not going to become the main focus of this channel. Also, I want to talk about the fact that I completely struck out yesterday on Phantasmal Flames. Just another day as a Pokemon card collector, waiting for the pre-order. I've got my computer, Diana's got her computer, and yeah, this is a great experience. This is the best way to collect cards, and we love it. We've got some pulled pork here, and some amazing mashed potatoes. Shout out to our chef, Diana. It was an absolute disaster for a lot of people, but we won't get into that. What we will get into is the fact that vintage cards are drying up. They're already starting to dry up. I doubt my video has anything to do with that. My channel is way too small to really have any impact. But I am actively looking for cards from the gym sets, from Skyridge, Aquapolis. These are some of my favorite sets personally. And I'm starting to see a lot of the cards disappearing. Listings are jumping, they're doubling in price, and they're just hard to find. You can't find these cards right now. And I'm being dead serious. You might find them at shows. They're gonna have a much higher sticker price. But yeah, Gym Heroes, Gym Challenge, both of those sets I think are really good. I really shouldn't be talking about them because I want those cards for myself. But I'm seeing those cards clear out. And I'm just seeing, Z&G, James, everything he lists moves so quickly that even for me, I'm like, you know what? He might actually have some of the more fair pricing right now. People are asking a lot more than what James is asking, putting cards on consignment for his customers. So you know what? My hat's off to James at Z&G. Honestly, in the past, I felt like there's a lot of show bidding. There's a lot of manipulation, maybe with their auctions, but honestly, the buy it now listings are really fair. There was a Gengar that sold in a PSA 9 for $7,100 in an auction that he had. Now the Gengar was holding a hollow orb. It looked really cool. I could reference it up here, but all you need to know is it was the Skyridge Gengar, and the way Gengar, in the picture frame of the card, Gengar is tilting over with his hand, and there's a hollow orb right under his hand. So I think that copy went for a premium because of the hollow orb placement in his hand. And that matters, guys. As a vintage card collector, I can tell you that matters. Where a swirl placement is, if there is a swirl on the card, if there's a hollow orb in a specific place, like in front of the mouth of the Pokemon, if they're doing an attack, basically, or if there's a swirl in front of Charizard's mouth, it looks like a fire swirl. People will literally put that in their listings. That's a real thing. There is literally a premium on swirls. People will literally, I think others would pay a premium, a couple $100 more, for a card with a gnarly swirl. Granted, the card has to be freaking spotless, but people will pay for a card that has a beautiful hollow pattern and good hollow placement. Anyways, that copy went for $7,100, and he had two listed for $6,200 and $6,600, below that price. So I think his listings, I've gotten a couple in the past couple of weeks. I've been racking up some insane card purchases. I don't know when they're going to get in the mail. It seems like they're taking a lifetime. We're coming up now on a month since some of these cards I've bought, and I'm still waiting for them to get here. I think right now there's so much buying going on eBay that like PSA and the vault, they can't even keep up with us right now. They're so backed up with stuff going into the vault. And I send all of my cards to the vault. Yes, it takes forever to get here, but the amount of savings you get from not paying the taxes and sending it to the vault is, you can call it tax evasion, say whatever you want. I don't care. I'm telling you right now, if you send it to the vault, you will avoid having those taxes added on. Now, if you don't send it to the vault, it will get to you much sooner and you will pay more for that copy, right? That's not included in the sold listings, right? It shows you what the card sold for. It doesn't show you that it sold for that amount plus tax. That's a really important thing to keep in mind, because if someone spends, like for example, my PSA 10 Skyridge Gengar that I continue to mention because it's an absolute grail. If someone buys that card, right, there was an auction, I think Z&G did it for $25,000 for a PSA 10 Skyridge Gengar. If someone pays that for that card and they pay taxes on that card, right, we're talking about like $2,000, like $1,700, $1,800 more for that card. So they're really paying $27,000 for that card, whereas I paid $25,000 for it and there wasn't anything on top, right? Also, you have to keep in mind when you're buying these cards, one thing that I use my credit card and I get rewards back. So I just got $1,000 in rewards back that I used to just pay it off immediately. And take it, chip some of that debt away quickly. But yes, I use my credit card. I leverage debt to buy a lot of my favorite cards, and I always pay it off. And right now I'm actually, this is the unfortunate truth of the hobby. I'm being transparent with you guys. I'm telling you that that's how I do it. I don't have $30,000 laying around to throw at a card, but I can definitely piecemeal it, pay it off, sell a bunch of other stuff, move stuff around, and within a month or 2 months, I can pay off a card like that and have an absolute monster of a card in my collection. Anyways, you can apply that with cheaper cards, do what you will. But another thing is like you leveraging debt. Wealthy people leverage debt, okay? They do it in the right way. This doesn't mean buying a bunch of sealed product on your credit card. That, to me, that's too risky. Buying cards that are very low pop, like there's only so many of them in the world, I don't know, I get off on that, right? I think it's incredible, right? I think it's a great way to ascertain real value in saying like this is more like a commodity in antiquity. It's not easy to find these things, which makes them valuable. And you might not think that directly correlates, but I'm not just buying cards that are rare. I'm buying cards that are badass and rare. I'm buying Pokemon that I love, right? Gyarados, Mewtwo, Charizard, any of the, well, let's talk about Neo Destiny, right? Those cards are clearing out. Forget about getting a PSA 10 first edition Shining from Neo Destiny, because those cards are damn near non-existent now. It feels like just yesterday you could see a lot of the first edition Shinings going for $2,000 in a PSA 10. And I knew they were undervalued. But I hate saying that and treating it like a stock when really it's unappreciated. For the money, it's unappreciated. First edition Shining Steelix, PSA 10, $2,000, $1,800. Nobody was touching it. First edition Celebi, $2,000. Nobody was touching it. First edition Kabutops, $2,000. Nobody was touching it. PSA 10, nobody was touching it. People were not buying these cards until really recently. We've seen the hobby really explode. We are now going through what I think is another boom, right? And it's not just for Modern. Modern is booming. I am selling PSA 9s like hotcakes. It's weird. It normally doesn't happen like that. But also, everything is booming. Vintage is booming. The ships are sailing out of the port. If you want these cards, if you want them, you got to get after them. Whether that's PSA 9, PSA 8, PSA 7, PSA 6, PSA 5, it's going to trickle down. The 10s are leaving. They're going to be gone soon. We've been waiting for this for 25 years, okay? Well, we really haven't been waiting for it really since 2019. That's where, the whole strategy of buying and investing in older cards became really a big thing. Before that, I feel like it was more of a collector passion. We have so many OGs in the hobby. TCA Gaming is one that I look up to. Pokemon Classics is another one. Dude, there's so many guys that are OGs in this hobby. Gem Mint Pokemon, I think, is another one. There's so many guys that have like all PSA 10 everything. To them, it's like, whatever. Maybe they've been waiting on it. Maybe they haven't. They just loved the cards. But I think for me, it's been like, if there's only a couple hundred of this card or even 100 of this card, there's only a handful of dudes out there, or girls, that have these cards, which makes it special, but it also means they're clearing out. And this is the sad reality, that it won't be attainable by everybody. and it won't be relatable for everybody. People will be like, what's the point of talking about cards that we can't all enjoy? That's the good thing about Modern, is that we can all enjoy it. It's dope. We can all, collect it. We can all share our love for it and our passion for it. It's harder to say that with vintage graded cards because there's so few of them. PSA 10 is cleaning out, right? First edition Celebi, gone, cleaning out. That card is about to take the next leg up. First edition Shining Tyranitar, first edition Shining, we're talking about Neo Destiny here. First edition Shining Mewtwo, first edition, well, there's plenty of first edition Shining Charizards. I don't know what the deal is with that. Why can't you guys just hold on to these cards? Why do you have to list them right after you get them, right? Like, it's an amazing Charizard card. Just keep it. Take it off eBay, right? Because we all know you don't really want to sell it. You have it listed for $25,000, $30,000. It's an amazing card. Trust me, in a year or two, you're going to wish you didn't sell it for 25 grand. Let me tell you right now, that card is a grail. But yeah, it's so hard to get these cards now. And I have friends even recently that got all of the first edition Shinings, and they got them for a way lower price. Does it bother me? No. I was buying other cards too. We're all buying cards, and if you miss out on one card, you get a good deal on another. That's just how it goes. I have a bunch of cards on the way that I have paid and gotten really good deals on under the last sold prices. And I don't know if that's because people know that I'm collecting for my personal collection and not to resell and be a vendor. But I imagine once I have all the cards I like, the next thing would probably be buying them to resell. And when I start doing that, then things are going to get even more scarce because this is stuff that I love and I specialize in. But anyways, first the 10s are going to be gone. And then the 9s will be the primary focus. People will go crazy the way they're going crazy for Gold Stars right now. Gold Stars are like one of the hottest vintage cards. The way they're going crazy for Gold Stars, they're going to be doing that for first edition Shinings. I'm telling you right now, Crystals, it's already happening. PSA 9 Crystals, I don't have a PSA 10 set. I have some PSA 10 Crystals, but most of them are 9s. The 9s are blowing up. That is going to happen to first edition Shining cards from Neo Destiny and the Neo Revelation with the Shining Gyarados and Shining Magikarp. Dude, those are freaking non-existent. I'm trying to work a deal for a first edition Shining Gyarados, and it's tough. There's not a lot of wiggle room. It's really tough, and there aren't any options. So really, you're banking on the seller basically giving some grace, having some grace, and not being totally stingy and totally selfish with it. Even in this market where it's kind of understandable that people are going to be stingy and selfish. It's understandable. We're in a crazy market. There's no one pressed to let go of their stuff. This stuff is selling itself. But guys, the PSA 10s are leaving, and we have to accept that. I'm accepting it. I'm going to be going after majority probably PSA 9s moving forward because the 10s are just getting so far out of reach. Even if you have 3 jobs, basically, the 10s are getting so far out of reach. But the 9s can be just as good. I have a Shining Tyranitar first edition in a 9, and a Shining Mewtwo first edition in a 9, and all my Gold Stars are 9s. I'm very, very picky, but I'm very happy with my cards, even if they're 9s. And I've even looked at the 10s and gone like, if I get a 10 and it has flaws, I'm going to be really fucking pissed off. If I get a 9 and it has a flaw, whatever. I have money for more cards now. So I think 9s for vintage are really the move. And once those 9s are gone, boom, we're going to be talking about this with PSA 8s. I bet you in a year from now or 2 years from now, I'm going to be talking about the same exact cards and PSA 8. I'm going to be telling you guys like, dude, PSA 8 is still a move, and I will probably still be buying those cards, whether I keep them as duplicates or sell them down the road. It's crazy. I love these cards so much that I've literally thought about buying duplicates just to hold on to. I don't even know when I would sell them, right? Like maybe I'll pass them to my kids. My kids, my son Asher, he might get into Pokemon. We don't know. I'm not going to push that on him. I'm not going to make that agenda. But like if my kids like Pokemon, that's something I've thought about too. Like passing on that generational knowledge and like appreciation for that stuff to your kids. Instead of buying copies to sell, basically being like, yeah, I've got a 10 and I'm going to buy a 9 for my son, right? Because he's going to be a baller and he's going to have a sick Tyranitar. You know what I'm saying? So, that's something that I thought about, even though it's not the best financial move. But at the same time, like, if times get tough and you have to sell those cards, they're there and you can afford the lower grades now and you can sell them later. Another strategy that I really like is buying a PSA 10, buying a PSA 9, and then selling that 9 2-3 years down the line. And basically now that 9 is going for just as much as what you bought your 10 for. And it basically absolves you of that initial purchase, right? That might sound crazy, but real talk, like buying duplicates, some of the biggest resellers on eBay, like the big Grail card resellers, that's their whole MO, is that they have all the 10s already and they're buying 9s. And basically they manipulate and own that market. I'm not even going to throw shade at it because honestly, at the end of the day, if I had that kind of capital, I would probably do the same thing. But for me, it goes beyond like trying to just make money off the cards. I feel like a lot of people are kind of like, I'm a high-end collector. Like, you either fucking want the card or you don't. And like, if you don't have money, get out my face type shit. Whereas for me, it's like, I really appreciate these cards. I want to find people that really appreciate them. And I don't even know if I want to sell them because they're dope. So, I don't know. I don't think I would fully have like a reseller spin on it, but I think we're all going to become resellers at some point in the hobby, right? So, and will I ever become a vendor? I don't know. But if I did do shows, I would do mostly modern because I feel like that's what most people are going to gravitate towards. And I would just have a vintage row of stuff that I love. It wouldn't even be for sale. I saw that at Collecticon. It was kind of annoying, but also like respect. Like, you have those nice vintage cards to be like, yo, give me some street cred. I have these cards. They're dope. They're not for sale, but I just wanted to put them out because there's a lot of people at this show, and sometimes, somebody might give you an offer that is too good to refuse. Somebody, Gold Star Pikachu's going for $10,000 in a PSA 9. Someone offers you $30,000 for it, $20,000 or $15,000. They're like, I want this exact copy. I'll give you $15K. That's something where it's like, this was my personal collection and I had it out. It wasn't really for sale, but money talks. So yeah, if I was vending, I would have like a back row of vintage that I just love. And then maybe I sell it, maybe I won't. And then everything else would probably be modern. Because modern is so accessible. So for like selling, modern makes sense. And for collecting modern, if we're gonna, dabble a little bit, talk a little bit about modern, I think buying modern cards at these insane inflated prices is just dumb. I think it's dumb. And I don't care what anybody else thinks about that. I think it's dumb, right? Or no, I do care, but it's not gonna change my opinion. I think it's dumb. You do you. If you want to buy a Bubble Mew for 2K, maybe I'll even be in the position where I have to buy that card for that much, right? But I would much rather stay in this hobby for the long term, find some of these cards raw, and grade them myself, right? I'm big into grading now. I really feel like grading is one of the best ways to build up your collection. And you can't really do that with vintage very easily. There are people that are still doing it. It's amazing to see. There's a lot of doctoring going on. There's a lot of people that are basically doing card restorations. That's like a big problem right now. And I feel like it's going to end badly. Like, we're going to see so many cards that are just shriveling up and having damage suddenly show itself in the future. Now, it all depends on the level of card restoration. The good thing is, most PSA 9 and PSA 10 vintage cards, PSA is pretty good about grading these cards. I don't think there's going to be too many super doctored cards that are going to hit PSA 9, PSA 10. So I think it's fairly safe. And I think, if we're going to rub some kind of polishing compound that works really well and doesn't totally ruin cardboard because it's on the hollow surface, if it's wiped off clean and it polishes the surface, I'm not condoning restorations. That's not what I'm doing here. But I'm saying we have no choice. This is happening, and we have to accept that it's happening in this hobby. It's going on. If this was to continue being a thing, then, I can accept that some PSA 9s, PSA 8s, PSA 10s maybe even, have had just a slight compound rub on the card and been wiped off. I mean, no, it's not ideal. But as long as it doesn't ruin the card long term, it is what it is. It's my mental backflip. Otherwise, it's just like, we just should not be buying these cards in PSA 10, PSA 9, because it's too big of a risk. They could have been doctored. And I think a lot of people worry about that, but you can't live life like that, right? Also, PSA, what was I going to say? They're being pretty strict, and they're doing pop control. If you don't believe in pop control, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. Pop control is real. How are these cards so low population in PSA 10? Pop control is real in my opinion, and it is why vintage is so investable. Not only is it really collectible, and we love the art, and we love, the having something that is, not just nostalgic, but a simple, pure version of art in this hobby where things have gotten so crazy, and now we have this like Charizard from Phantasmal Flames that is awesome, but also it's so wild, right? I will always appreciate the wildness, the aliveness, the liveliness. The fuck am I saying? The liveliness of modern. I always appreciate it. Cards jumping out at you. But I will equally always appreciate the boring, simple art of the hand-drawn vintage. Always gonna appreciate it. I love it. I can't help it. It's in my DNA to love vintage cards. And more I'm having people reach out and becoming good friends and DMing me. And literally, I'm on a call basis with some of y'all. And we have talks on the phone. We just talk about vintage cards. My goal is to get the bar to a point where people come in, we talk about vintage cards. We talk about modern too, but we talk about vintage cards. Maybe we can have trade nights, casual trade nights, a place where people can safely go meet up and sell their cards or sell collections. That is like one of my dreams for the bar, is for it to turn into like a trading hub for Pokemon. And every time I meet younger people at the bar and they're like, we get into talking to each other, what are your hobbies? I'm like, I do YouTube, I do collectibles. What kind of collectibles you do? I do Pokemon. I know it might sound weird, but they're like, oh, no, Pokemon's cool. What's up with that? And I'm like telling them about grading and modern and the opportunity. And, this space is already too crowded, but it's crowded with the wrong people. We need to get more people that are passionate about the hobby into the hobby, that we can all enjoy together, right? Because it's not fun if you don't have a community to enjoy it with. One thing that I love about the bar is that I have an amazing community that I enjoy just living life with. Like, these people are becoming my good friends, and so I have, this double life. I have, the bar and all my friends at the bar, and then I have Pokemon and all my friends in Pokemon, and I'm like, how? And like we a lot of my friends like cars too, so we talk about cars, we talk about cards, collectibles, but like, how do I bridge all of that and combine it and make a community here in Charlotte that is like just about all of it, rolling up with a cool sports car. There's this guy that bought a slab off me the other day, and he had a sick Audi, like a souped up Audi. He came in and bought a PSA 10 full art. It was nothing crazy. What was that full art, man? What was that? I can't remember. It was a Battle Styles full art. But he came in and he bought the full art, and he had this souped up Audi, and like, that's kind of what I envision for the bar. Is like people coming in, having a drink, bringing some slabs. We're all shooting the shit. That is my dream, y'all. Like, I love the bar and I love Pokemon. How can I blend them together? Now, we had a really cool trade daytime event. Grim Horizon, he has a YouTube channel, and Pete, who he's since passed. We won't talk about it other than the fact that he was an amazing guy, incredible collector. He had a YouTube channel, he had eBay, Instagram, everything. Pete Didier. So, and I hope he's resting in peace, looking down on us now, saying like, you're crushing it with the vintage. I didn't know him that well, but him and AJ, who is Grim Horizon, the YouTube channel. They put together a trade day event. I had really nothing to do with that event. They just used my bar as a meetup spot to do vending and shit. And I'm like, I want to do that again. In fact, I might reach out to AJ and just be like, bro, what I gotta do to get us to throw some kind of event at the bar again, because that shit was dope. Let's do it. So I'm gonna take that upon myself. I'm gonna reach out to him, see what we can do about that, because I want to get more locals uptown hanging out at the bar talking Pokemon. Anyways, vintage leaving the building, guys. I'm telling you, it's gone. Anyways, let's pop downstairs, go outside, and take a look at another dope vintage card that I love in my collection. Let's just talk about it. What up, guys? We are outside. It's a gorgeous day. We're gonna miss this weather for doing parts of the video like this, but we have a very, very clean card here. I recently got this back from grading. It had been in my binders for a long time. I don't have that many great binder cards for vintage, and these are all unlimited cards from my vintage binders that I've graded recently that I just really wanted to get graded. But you know, we talked so much about first edition, but eventually when first edition isn't that available or gets prices people out, the next move is unlimited. And this is an unlimited copy, and it's really clean, and I'm a huge fan of Pikachu. So let's go ahead and get into it. We got the baby Pikachu, the Pichu. Bro, this card is so fucking sick. I love this card. I love it. It's adorable. It's very cutesy, but it's also just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Stunning. Very simple artwork. I like how it has the yellow and the blue hue of color in the background with his little red cheeks. It just, dude, and the black tip ears, like, bro, this card just pops off. Also, you know, I really want this card in first edition. I have so many crazy goals right now for Pokemon, and I'm just trying to get after it. But you know, if you can't get first edition, like who cares? Get unlimited. Like, sometimes I feel like the unlimited cards are actually, like, there's a lot of unlimited cards that are rarer, that are actually lower pop than first edition. That's kind of a phenomenon that's also in Japanese, but it's taken way more seriously in Japanese. Like, the cards that are unlimited are, like, sometimes way, way, way more pricey. But in English, it doesn't exactly correlate, but there's a lot of unlimited cards that technically are rarer. There's less of them graded, right? Everybody wanted to grade first edition. It was the first print run, but not a lot of people were grading unlimited as much. And, you know, Neo Genesis also was plagued with issues. This is such a clean freaking Pichu. I got this guy for like $50 raw, and that was 2019. So that was a ways back, but yeah, this guy got a PSA 9, one little grade point short of being literally a perfect card. So that tells you a lot about the condition of this card. It doesn't really have any like surface hollow scratches or anything. There's some light scratches on there, more like print lines. Neo Genesis was known for just like having trash quality, just a lot of print lines and stuff like that. Also, just there's a lot of hollow surface, so it scratches really easily. But dude, this is such a nice card with the little box with the fat Pikachu down here. Zap. Sick little attack. Just an absolutely beautiful card. And this copy is super clean. And not like super hype expensive, right? I want to cover a lot of my graded vintage that's not hyper and expensive, because I think it gives you a look into, like, I'm not selling this so that I can get a first edition one. I'm keeping these. Like, I'm keeping the cards that hold memories and that I've graded myself. It's not all about the money, and it's also not all about having the absolute nicest Grail cards. It's about, like, finding these cards along the way and on the journey. And, like, it's more fun when it's sustainable and it's affordable. And, like, this was a super affordable card. It was $50 several years ago, and I plucked it out of my binder as I scoured my binders for cards to grade. And now it's, you know, much more expensive in a PSA 9, even for unlimited. But guys, if you don't want to go after first edition, you could build an insane collection with unlimited. And I'll tell you another thing. A lot of the unlimited cards are actually a lot more vibrant. The colors are a lot more vibrant, which kind of makes them better looking, right? Like Shadowless Charizard and first edition Shadowless, they're like a lot, it's got that Shadowless faded hue of color, whereas the base set Unlimited has a much darker red, and it honestly, I like the Unlimited a lot more when it comes to that. Like the color is just very vibrant, very vibrant. I say words that aren't even real. That's how hype I am about this Pichu. But for real, guys, it's a sick card, and honestly, even I would want an Unlimited Charizard and a PSA 10. Like, I'm not biased fully towards first edition. Like, if I could find good deals on cards, I would definitely snag them up, scoop them up. And that was one of my goals. We opened so many heavy base set packs, and we could not for the life of us pull the Charizard. And even if we did, it probably wouldn't have gotten a 10. But that was a big dream of mine, and I don't know if I'll ever achieve it. I don't know if we'll ever pull a Charizard on this channel from base set. But that's my dream, and I'm hoping if I just keep doing this, I can eventually get to my dreams of opening vintage packs and just doing it to do it. Not doing box breaks, just opening packs just for shit's sake. And hopefully getting something dope out of it and grading it ourselves, just for the story of it all. Although opening product has never been a great way to build your collection, but it's fun. It's fun, and it's a very important part of the hobby. Dude, I got to do all my videos in this wide angle view because, dude, it looks so good. Doing the wide angle view looks so much better with the Pichu. Ah, what a clean card. Anyways, deuce, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video and some more ranting.